I grabbed the last toy soldier for my son, and before I could put it in my cart, a security guard was already in my face. The security guard said, "Look, I was going to get that toy for my kid. Can you get another one?" I responded, "Sorry, man. My kids cut every lawn in the neighborhood for over a month to save up for it." He stared daggers at me and said, "You're an entitled beach." I stopped cold, confused. "What?" He continued. "I can tell you're the type of dick that when he doesn't get his way, he cries like a little baby until he does." I was so blown away by this dude's crazy assumption of me. I was a top Marine in the military, and you could say a lot of crap about me, but calling me a whiny beach is seriously nuts. Though I thought about telling the guy off, even if he was wearing a silly rent-a-cop badge, but thought better of it and walked away. As I was leaving, he said, "That's what I figured. Any sign of conflict, you fold." I stopped, still had my back to him, then smiled to myself because it was obvious this dick was doing all he could to piss me off. I was quite proud of myself for walking away. As I got to the checkout line, I turned around and saw the security guard clocking my every move. The wheels were turning in his mind. He approached me and said, "Sir, I'm going to need you to come with me." The cashier and every customer stared at me like I was already a criminal. I asked, "Why do you need me to do that?" The rent-a-dork responded, "Do you really want me to say it in public?" I welcomed that and said, "Yeah, go ahead. Say what's on your mind." He shook his head and said, "I know you stole something from the store and I'm going to have to call the police." Now, everyone definitely thought I was a dirtbag thief. He put his hand on his taser and said, "Don't make this any more difficult than it needs to be." I thought to myself, if this weirdo is planning something, I'm going to need someone to witness our exchange. I said, "Fine, but I want your manager to be present." His lips curled. That one messed him up. He said, "Fine by me." I followed him to the back of the store and went into his tiny office, a metaphor for his tiny dick. The manager came over and asked, "What's going on?" Before I could say anything, the security guard blurted out, "He stole something and I saw him do it." Then when he saw me, he quickly put it back. Now that one shocked me. The nerve of this guy to just make that up. I had to defend myself. That is a complete lie. I got a toy soldier for my son that he secretly wanted and he got upset that I wouldn't give it to him. The manager stared at me and said, "Is this typical? How many other stores have you stolen from?" They teamed up on me as Rent Dweeb went along with him and said, "Exactly. Why would I try to stop a customer from buying one of our products?" I was genuinely shocked. This was crazy. Who are these idiots? The manager got in my face and said, "Since you didn't actually steal, I'll consider this a warning, but I need to take down your name so you can go on our watch list, and you're not allowed to step foot on our premises again." I wanted to beat the crap out of both of these morons, but didn't want to end up in jail for lowering myself to such a level of stupidity. I said, "I'm not telling you anything. I'll just leave." I went a step out, and the rent-a-dummy stepped in my way, blocked my path. I was just about to knock his teeth out when Sally from Home Goods stepped in and said to the manager, "Sir, I actually saw and heard the whole exchange between these two, and the customer is telling the truth. He never tried to steal anything." The renter turd went completely pale. The manager also felt like he had been kicked in the nuts by a steel toe boot. I smiled and said, "Thanks, Sally." I could read her name tag. The manager apologized and gave me 50% off of anything in the store. I got the toy soldier and decided to load up my cart with a bunch of other candy and toys for my kid. I looked over and saw the rent cop getting fired. About a week later, I saw on the local news that he was caught stealing the same toy soldier from another toy store.